more of a joke.
Oh.
Yeah. The guy who rings this thing, the ringleader, his son is the man, the myth, and the legend all in one. So Gove, yeah. So I always
Gove.
Gove. But Brent usually runs these, and he's out. I think Colorado Springs. You said right now, Colorado Springs.
He's in
Colorado,
Denver right now, and then they'll be heading to Colorado
That's
Springs.
so much fun. Traveling is amazing right now. Opportunity.
Yeah.
I leave for this time tomorrow. I'll be in Hawaii, so my feet will be deep in sand.
Oh, I'm jealous. Good. If
Will
you're
you
going
come
there
and
for
carry your
fun,
luggage?
that's good.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna try to have fun there.
No, Chris has 200 and some agents in
Yeah, I
Hawaii.
got
You're working
250.
you can, right?
Yeah,
But it's a work party for you.
it's really work.
Business deductible.
It is a business deductible, but this particular time we're actually creating an event, bringing Glenn Sanford out to the islands, which is exciting. So I got Glenn to come out. We're doing another kind of launch for EXP, my team out in Hawaii. Trying to just do expansive growth out there in the same fashion we do here. So, it literally is taking just another chapter out of the book that Brent's kind of laid out for us. And that's one of the things I love about this is he started these meetings from day one. Well, over 3 years ago. I remember those ones. They were just a little round speaker in the middle of the table here.
Yeah.
And remember that? And Rob Flick used to be on there.
Yeah.
And Rob Flick was doing the videos. And we're all just sitting around, huddled around like the speaker, like, oh, I can hear him. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. It was kind of just basic, but it worked. And the truth is, we're like, well, how do you get started? Just get started. Just get started. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I know you guys are probably those who have. The one was not EXP's. And what was your name? I'm sorry.
Lucy?
Lucy. Chris. Pleasure. Chris Okumara. And for those who haven't, we usually do a webinar kind of PowerPoint thing. And I'm gonna shake it up a little bit differently. I'm gonna throw some spice in there because if you haven't seen the Gene Frederick 3 napkin video yet, this is it. Have you guys seen that yet?
No.
Okay, perfect. Frank!
Hey.
So, and Gene Frederick, for those who don't know who Gene Frederick is, he is the one who owned several regions of Keller Williams. He's been in the business for 40 plus years too. Sold all of his regions and all of his territories, and literally came and joined DXP back in 2000, I think it was 14. I think it was 14 for him. But he had 9 regions that he owned for KW, and he sold them all. So he said he owned 9 blockbusters, and he wanted to own 9 Netflixes. So he sold blockbusters. Anyways, so real quick, my bio, 21 years for me this year in real estate. I had a mortgage company too back in the day. Everything prior to 2007 was so much fun, right? And then 2007 came, and actually before that, like 90s was kind of crazy, but 7 was another epic moment, I think, on the epicenter that really rocked everybody in the business. And it affected me too. I literally at that point decided to stop all mortgages. I didn't want to do any more mortgage part of it, so I just literally ventured into 100% real estate. And did my spell joining PCAR and CAR and doing the whole director thing for about 6 years. I led that song and dance for a while. Met a lot of great people. But in doing so, I managed to handle a few committees that did really well. Keller Williams saw that and came and recruited me directly in 2012 to run one of their offices in Natomas. So I ran that office in Natomas for 3.5 years and did really well with that as well. Again, the franchise thing, it's a great thing. I always say you're valuable until you're not. And that's kind of how it works in that world. It's politics. So, but I honestly at that point, my mind was always driven around the thought of kind of ownership. That's kind of how I felt. I was the guy who walked in the door and never sat down and said, oh, I'm going to be that guy. I want how do you be that guy? So I was always, how do you be that guy? And that's kind of my mentality from day one. So when I got into Keller Williams, I really honestly thought that was my ticket. But again, you're only as valuable until you're not. So valuable lesson, I guess. Zero control of your outcome. Anyways, so fast forward. Thought I was done with that, but then I got bought into an Intero franchise. I thought it was done, so I jumped from the iron into, the oven into the frying pan. It wasn't done enough, but I gave myself 6 months to figure that out if it would work. Didn't, and at that point, Brent literally reached out to me. I was one of Brent's first 8 back in 2016, and I've known Brent for 10, 15 years as well. And he's like, hey, I took my whole entire team, and we literally left Keller Williams, which literally drew my attention. I wanted to know what was going on. So we met, and he shared with me what we're about to share with you today, which was the change in real estate, the disruptor in real estate, in a great way. So anybody who has been affiliated in the business, and I know you were speaking earlier, you guys have been 30, 40 years in this, right? So you guys have, and you own Realty One franchises, you guys totally get it. Every real estate model that I've been affiliated with myself in the last 20 years, all has been ran the same. Frank, you too. Every one of them has been broken down into this series. And can you guys see this, by the way? If not, I can, are you able to see this
Yes.
here?
Mm-hmm.
I can move it or not, you guys good? See it? Okay. So, every one of them has a beginning of international presence, right? International money, international connection, international startup is where they all begin on an international level. They go out and they break it into regions. They create territories, right? They mark them off, stamp them out, create territories and regions. These regions go out and find the guys who have all the money, the owners, the franchisees, the franchisors, those guys that are willing to put out the money and the risk, right? So we'll call these guys the owners. The owners have to go out and find some managers and staff, right, that fund and run that office on a daily basis, right? While they're off doing their thing, somebody who maintains and runs that on a regular basis. So they go off and they hire managers and staff. Now the manager and staff, their job is to do what? Go out and get who? The lowest in the totem pole, right? And I don't mean that with all respect, but yes, the lowest on the totem pole would be us. The agents. Okay, so would you all agree with those? Anything that has been related with me in real estate in the last 20 years has all looked like this. Every company, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Remax, Sotheby's, right? Intero, Berkshire Hathaway, all of them. Okay. One of the things that when I was introduced with Brent, and he shared this with me like 5 minutes into this, my mind literally exploded because I saw the transformation, the change that was about to happen. We've never seen it in 20 years in this business, as long as I've been here, where we've actually made it, in my mind, called a win-win. A win-win where everybody gets a chance to have an opportunity here. In most scenarios, who gets the most opportunity here? These guys up here, right? They're the ones that make most of the money. Everybody for that ladder, right? And most agents can all agree, we never get to see above this line right here. We're always seeing below the line, right? Never do we get to see above this line. I call it the lower deck. We're always lower deck. Again, it's not a bad because I know a lot of us who've been in the industry long enough, we've made some really good money on the lower deck. Definitely. However, they've made more. True? So one of the things that we've talked about that really changed the way I saw it instantly was that literally EXP and Glenn, who created this model, eliminated all of these middle guys. The regions, the owners, the managers, staff, gone, condensed. And the majority of that is a lot of money. Yes? Tons of money. Okay. We've taken the agent and made the agent the owner. And we're supported internationally. So in the years that we've ran these real estate models, we've seen them or been affiliated with them, we've all seen it from the top down. Literally, the agents have never been in the equation, right? We're the hamster wheel. We're constantly grinding. It's the treadmill of real estate. It's do real estate till you die plan. There really was no end game. The reality is it's always been an ownership. Haven't we been kind of, I'd say that realtors in general have been sold on the idea that the transactions is where the money's at. Quite honestly, that's the lowest payout in this business. The highest has always been ownership. But again, being on the lower deck, we've never had access to that until now. And that's what literally made my mind blow away. So, I tell everybody, we're exactly like every real estate company, but we're not. Like every other traditional real estate company as a realtor, you got to go and sign up for your MLS. You got to do the stuff, pay your dues for CAR. You got to pay your dues for NAR. It's no different. You sell real estate like everywhere else. The difference is, one of the things that makes us separate is we have something called a disruptive technology. And we own it. I always tell everybody, imagine about 20 years ago, if you're sitting in Starbucks and all of a sudden Jeff Bezos walks in the door and says, hey, I got this great idea. I'm going to disrupt the way you shop. And then we're going to do it on your phone. You can buy here. You can shop and have everything half the price, half the time, shipped to your front door, and never have to leave your house. What do you think? You think he's out of his mind. But he says, just give me $5,000. $5,000, invest in my company, I'll make you an owner, and I promise it will do well. Again, fast forward now to 2020 where we're at today. If you had invested $5,000 with Amazon, you would own a disruptive technology, and where would you be? They say the wealthiest employee is going to be the 18th employee at Facebook. If you were to anybody that starts a business today, the 18th employee at Facebook is going to be far wealthier than the person who starts a business today, which means it could even be the janitor. Why? Because they bought in and they own a piece of a disruptive technology. We do, and it's called Verbella. And this is our cloud office. And I don't say cloud campus, I say cloud office. You know why? Because everybody keeps saying what? We don't have? That's right, and we do. Well, I'm sorry, but you don't have this collaborative community. You don't have all this culture. Well, actually we do. We do. On a click of a mouse, I could be into this called Campus Cloud Office Environment and be around 100 to 200 individuals or realtors across the country. Where have you ever in a minute been able to get in there and talk to somebody who has business in New York, the East Coast, West Coast, now what, Canada, Australia, UK, be able to collaborate with people in the industry, like-minded, and ask them how their market share, what they're doing in their business to be different. That's priceless. You really can't get that here. If you walked into your traditional office, you'd have the same 4 or 5 people, yeah? That's always there every day, talking about the same things. Why the printer doesn't work, why there's Coke instead of Pepsi in the vending machine, where's the manager, what all the things that are kind of negatively drawn around that, you don't get much with your bang for your buck anymore in the traditional office. So, this cloud office that we own is a tremendous asset now that I saw, where again, running into Keller Williams stuff, I didn't ever own anything there. The moment they were done with me, I walked out with the suit that I wore walking in. I had zero interest in that property, I had zero to walk away with. So I never owned anything. Today, I do. How does that work? Well, we actually are a publicly traded company, and everybody's acquired stocks. There's 5 ways to acquire stocks in this company, okay? It is called EXPI as a moniker. And the 5 ways you do it: 1, when you close your first transaction, you're actually awarded stock shares. When you bring somebody onto the company and they close their first transaction, you're awarded stock shares. When you cap, for those unfamiliar with the cap, we have a $16,000 cap here. When you cap, you're awarded stock shares. You also have the opportunity to buy, like an employee stock option program, 5% of every one of your closings. You can acquire stock at a 10% discount. Okay? Again, think about most of the companies you're with in this brand right here. Most of you are paying probably a franchise fee or royalty fee already, right? And traditionally, most of them are pretty standard industry-wide, about 5 to 6% right off the bat. 5 or 6% of your closing automatically goes to somebody you don't even know who they are. And it funds their business, which is great. But does it really help you? No. So imagine the opportunity now that in this program, I'm acquiring stocks on my own. Actually, while I'm sleeping, it's working for me. In essence, doing the same job that every other realtor in the country is doing, although I'm being awarded stock share. So what does that offer me? Options. Second option. Number 1 option is selling real estate. I call this the trifecta, by the way. This is the buyer, the seller, and the transaction. That is the foundation of real estate. That is it. That's what it's all about. We do this, we chase one of these 2 things every day, and may the best man win this down here. That is the entire breakdown of a realtor's business, right? It's pretty much it. So, but this is the single, sole, one option that you have in real estate currently, right now, to do anything with your life financially or freedom. It's go and get more buyers and sellers. So, now, we're offered more options because we are an owner of a disruptive technology. We do acquire stocks that work for us and a benefit purpose. So now, this is a differentiation that you've ever seen where all the agents in the company actually able to acquire stocks. The third thing that separates us is the revenue share. And this is actually what really got me, okay? So again, all this money that we talk about here that's being condensed and eliminated is called revenue, right? Every time you close a transaction currently, whatever brokerage you're in, everybody gets the revenue and it pays off every one of these levels here. That's revenue. Now imagine if your company that you're at, wherever you're at, sends out an email next month and says, hey, congratulations everybody, guess what? Starting next month, everybody in the office now gets to have a piece of whatever comes in this office every month. Think that would excite a few people?
Very much.
Think it would change the way people would work? Absolutely, right? Finally, you see people in the office, hey, come on, let's go. Hey, come on, let's make something happen. Come, let's go, right? It would see the dynamic and energy would change because why is that? Everybody finally is vested and everybody finally gets a piece of the pie. So imagine what kind of culture and collaborative community that's created with us here in this model where everybody is linked together, joining forces, helping one another grow. As they say, the tide rises all ships, and that's true nature of how we work at EXP. First company to ever be about that they've all come together willing to help each and every one succeed. Because, why? Everybody wants their company to succeed. So, only disruptive technology, having stock options available to you, and the third part, the revenue share. So these are the 3 things that have changed where we're disrupting the technology and disrupting real estate as a whole outside of every traditional real estate brokerage. Okay, make sense? Awesome, so I'm gonna put this aside, and this is what we call a 3 napkin because I use this presentation a lot, actually, with other people, even at Starbucks. Works well, and I use real napkins. But I do this so that you can see it. Visualization is everything, yeah? So, back on the revenue share piece, which really changes. This is a dynamic that I think that most people truly do understand. I ask several series of questions and ask you where your real estate business is at on a scale of 1 to 10, right? 1 being and 10 being amazing. Where would you gauge your career today? But then I always say, before you answer that question, I want to preface with this, and this is pretty my own opinion. I do not believe 9 and 10 exists for a realtor. I think it's 1 through 8. And the reason why I say that is because 9 and 10 is this. If you're to sit there and tell me that your version of a 9 and 10, your business, is actually getting more of these, okay, that means you just want to work harder. But if your goal was to actually retire and do things that you have passion for, be around the people who you love, doing things that you want to do with no financial restraints, that would, I think, be 9 and 10. Would you agree? So, in my mind, a 1 through 8 exists for a realtor, which is that. 9 and 10? Well, that's something they never even talk about. They don't. That's why most people sometimes, traditionally, up until now, have been involved in real estate for many years and never had an exit strategy because we couldn't stop. The moment you took your foot off the gas pedal, you were done. Your business was only as good as your last deal. So, and you attest to that. You've been at Cold Baker for years, right? So the truth is, 9 and 10 never existed. So here's where 9 and 10 has changed for us. I'm going to put some numbers down here and see if anybody can tell me what they represent. Anybody have an idea? 900,000, 4%, 36,000, and 3,000. Anybody tell me what those numbers represent? Any guess too, it's fine.
How much money you make in your lifetime?
Yeah, that'd be great too, right? Exactly. If you were to talk to any financial planner, the maximum that you can withdraw from any annuity or money that you save annually per year in order for it to sustain for the rest of your life that you're on this planet is 4%. 4%. Which means 4% of $900,000 is $36,000 a month or $3,000 a month. $36,000 a year. $3,000 a month, excuse me. So let me ask first, who's got $900,000 saved? After taxes, by the way. And remember, it's always easy to save money in good times. What happens in bad times? You spend it. You live off it. Yeah? So the truth is, in reality, not too many realtors I've ever ran across in the last 20 years have $900,000 in the bank. But here's another kind of sad thought. That's like top ramen retirement. No offense if people like top ramen, but that's top ramen life. That's not going to change your life to the point where all of a sudden you can just quit working and say, you know what, I'm good selling I'm not going to sell another listing again tomorrow because I'm getting $3,000 a month. You eat top ramen and barely turn your lights on every other Thursday because your electricity bill is too high. My point is, gosh, can you think of how challenged people are in this business? Like if you think you're going to have any substantial retirement when you're done selling real estate, you better think again because this is a real hard challenge here. So let's just be fair and say that somebody does do it in about 25 to 30 years. Fair enough? 25 to 30 years. Okay? We'll get a benefit of the doubt. I actually have a plan designed with EXP, which is super exciting. We can do it in 2 years. 2-year plan. Okay? So, first question, do you think it's challenging for you as a realtor to be able to talk to 3 buyers or sellers a year? It's a rhetorical question, by the way. Just saying. 2 to 3 buyers or sellers a year. Pretty simple, yeah? If you can't, then gosh, you better get out of this business and go do something else. 2 to 3 buyers or sellers a year. Which means in 2 years, you would actually talk to 2 or 6 buyers or sellers. Now, the energy involved actually is probably harder to go after 6 listings and 6 buyers than it is to go talk to 6 individuals who actually already know, like, and trust you, who respect you, who admire you, who actually look up to you and ask you for advice. Yeah? So, in actuality, 3 people a year that you could have a conversation about, about changing their life and giving them an opportunity that they've never been presented with before would be pretty easy to do. Same amount of energy, same amount of time. Would you agree, yeah? So 3 people a year would not be hard. True? So in 2 years, that would be 6 people. Back to this model where we're taking this revenue again and literally sharing with the company. EXP is willing to share with you $2,800 per agent per year for your first 6, for those that cap. Okay? This ends up being $16,800, which, another great point, I don't know anybody in a current real estate model you're in that actually gives you an opportunity in the first 2 years to find something that supplements your cap. You're paying into it, but it's paying you back. I don't know any brokerage that offers that right now. That you literally can almost at one point kind of make it wash.
Sorry.
Nah, you're good. Thought it was Christmas. It was a
I
Christmas
know
music.
it.
So, then, I always say this. I call it the Jerry Maguire disease. You all familiar with Jerry Maguire, right? Who's with me, Jerry? I'm with you, Jerry. Everybody always follows somebody. Where are you going, Frank? What are you doing? Why are you going? What's going on? What are you doing? I see you, Chad. What's going on? Of course, everybody will always follow somebody. So in a 2-year period, these 6 that came on board, I guarantee you, one of them is going to follow them, which means that's an additional 6. Okay? Anybody have an idea? Throw out a number. What do you think EXP revenue-wise is going to share with you per agent per year? Most of you guys probably know it, but $3,200, which is $19,200, which is $36,000, or $3,000 a month, which is this right here. So, let's go back and rewind a little bit here though. In real estate, what were we told to do 2 things, right? Sell real estate and do what else? Invest. Because the investment part was ultimately our 9 and 10 version, yeah? So 1 through 8 was our sell real estate, 9 and 10 was our invest, which ultimately mean 20 years ago was buying properties, flipping them, or having rentals. Anybody who's in here at rentals before knows, can attest to how much that is a pain in, you know what, can't even say the word on film. My point is, the reality behind it is not such a huge return anymore. In fact, let's fast forward now and go back to how technology has changed. What do we have today? Short-term rental, Airbnb, VRBO. I think that's such a fair, better model than actually throwing some renters in a long-term situation in your home and having them not pay rent for 9 months. I've had that happen. And spend more money trying to kick them out. I've had that happen. And then go in there afterwards and they completely gutted the house out, and I had that happen. So that was a complete negative liability. It was never an asset to me. Short-term rental, that's where it's at. I plan on buying just in travel places nowadays. Locations where people want to go to. You can have it rented 365 days a year. Or as much as you want, just to cover the cost of your mortgage, and they still have a home for you to go to wherever you do. That's the way to do it, is design. Again, never could have done this 20 years ago because Airbnb and VRBO was not around. Again, another way that shows how technology has changed the way we're doing business. So my point is, a rental or the investing was our secondary part. This could be a rental. If you had a rental that you didn't have to come up with 20% for a down payment, you didn't have a mortgage laying over your head, you didn't have all the other liabilities and risk and property management issues, but you had $3,000 a month that was coming into you every month on top of doing this, that would be a game changer. Game changer. Again, we're all going to do this. This buyer and seller, this little game here, you're going to do it no matter where you're at. Anywhere you're at, you can do this. I can do this in the trunk of my car. The truth is, it's never going to get anywhere beyond that other than just this. And my 1 through 8 might get great. I might be able to sell a $1 million home. I might have some luxury buyers. I might have my clientele change a little bit. But truth is, I'm still doing this. And the moment I get sick, ill, injured, death, something happens, I'm done. And that's called life. Now, we have a chance that just in having a conversation with 6 people in a 2-year period, I create a rental without a rental. It's an amazing concept. So this is where I was exploding and changing the way I thought about things because, again, traditionally, we've all been accustomed to think about real estate as just being this little deal right here. And God bless that because, again, most of his business have made a lot of money from it. I'm not mad at it. However, I'm tired of it. I am. I'm burnt out. And I can't keep extending myself to keep doing this and having no ever end to this. So now I'm excited. One, because I'm going to Hawaii tomorrow, but two, because I now have a plan put in place outside of real estate. I'm not required. It's a choice. I'm never going to retire. Let's be honest. The word retirement is weird to me. I'll never retire. But I'm going to do things that I want to do and have the choice to do what I want to. And that is my version of retirement. It's a choice. I never was afforded a choice up until now. So now where I'm at, I'm essentially where Brent is. I'm following Brent's foot, and God bless him. I bless him every day because he's changed my life. That being said, I want to help change other people's lives. I really do. That's why I call it a win-win. Because never again in the traditional sense, these guys were winning, we were just living. Finally get a chance that we all get to win-win. How? By helping others attain and have the same opportunity that we do. And this is what I'm doing now. Same numbers, different perspectives. You guys already know what they are. But I'm going to write these down. $4.5 million. $4.5 million, 4%, $188,000 a year, or $15,000 a month. Now, that changes your life. That allows you to actually not really sell real estate for about a month or so, and you'd be like, I could survive. If I got sick, died, or something happened, I'd be good. That's 3 rentals. 3 rentals. So, can we be fair to say $4.5 million is never going to happen? I mean, I gave them 25, 30 years. That must be nice. Is anybody going to say $4.5 million, honestly?
You say that.
Not really happening. So this is almost like non-existent. I would say that. I can't even spell existent, but I actually can show you guys how we can do this in 3 years. Again, because an opportunity has been presented to you to be able to take full advantage of and leverage it. Go back to the same thing. One quick question here on the point I want to bring out. The exciting part about this too, by the way, it goes down 7 levels. Meaning that people tell people, tell people, tell people, tell people. Anybody who's went to work for another brokerage, very highly believe they didn't go on their phone and started Googling Coa bankers on Douglas Boulevard and saying, I'm going to go interview with him tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. They go out and talk to their best friend who they know, like, and trust and respect, and they're there, and they ask them why they're there. Why is it so beneficial that you're at Coa? Why is it so beneficial at Remax? Why is it so beneficial at Kennewick? Why are you there? And because you're going to tell me what you're going to tell me, I respect you. It's always been by word of mouth and always been by referral that people go to choose to work where they choose to. Meaning, this model is exemplified in why Keller Williams is 150,000 agents, largest franchise company to date. Agent count. It worked. Thank goodness Gary for that. Because he realized that relationships are everything. And even in this business, how important is relationships?
Very important.
You're counting on the buyers and sellers that you did transactions with, and they go tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, right? Because if you are, then you're getting a really good business. It's all relationship. It's all been relationship based. Okay? We've just expanded the ability for relationships to take on a whole new meaning. Okay? So a 3-year plan, same thing. This time, first year 3 people, second year at 3 people, but on the 3rd year, we're gonna go a little crazy. And you're gonna get 1 more additional person, and we'll make it 4, which will give you a total of 10. 10 individuals. 10 people on your front line. $28,000. But now my job is to come help these 10, because I got my 10, to come and help you get your 10. Because I want you to have all this too. I want you to have some rental properties that you can fall back on, not real rental properties, but rental properties income, without having to do all the work for it. I want you to be able to share in that. So, in a 3-year plan, I'm going to help these 10 get their 10, which ends up being 100 people. Okay? That comes out to $348,000 a year. Remember though, I'll make this quite clear, it's on those that cap. Yeah? So what does everybody always say? Of course, let's be real. they're not all gonna cap. That's true. NAR stats, 2.5 deals per year. It's the average.
2.5.
2.5 deals per year is the NAR stats for realtors. It's pretty sad. But it does average in people that are part-time and all that stuff, does a little construe some of those, but still, 2.5 deals a year, average? Okay. So let's be realistic then and say, since they're not, we'll call them half cappers. And I understand in this area, it takes about 7 to 8 deals to cap. In the Bay Area, it's probably about 1.5. Southern California, Hawaii, about 1.5. So a half capper would be somebody who does about 3 to 4 deals here, or about a half a deal over there, which means it covers everybody. Would you agree? 99% of realtors. If that 1% is not even doing that, well, they're probably at home watching Oprah anyways. The point is, half cappers, we'll call it at 1,600. Because half of 32 is 16. That still comes out to $160,000 plus the 28 is $188,000 or $15,000 a month. That right there.
Okay.
So, option one, you can go ahead and go out and sell real estate, which you're already doing anyway, so go for that, and I give you all the blessings with you on that. Or option two, you can go have a conversation with 10 people who know, like, and trust you, by the way, and takes the same amount of energy to go chase these two as it does to go have a conversation with these 10. And then we help you get 10 more. Okay? We create an opportunity for you to have literally a portfolio of rental income without rentals. That's my theory. Okay? This is why things have changed and why EXP has disrupted, right here, the way real estate is looked at. Okay? Same thing, just different platform, right? So is Netflix, right? You're watching a movie, the only difference is it's on a different platform. I can watch it on my phone right now. I'm still watching the movie though. It's live streaming. We're live streaming at Cloud Office, no different. Uber, same way, right? We're taking a person from point A to point B. Except now it's done for your phone. Same thing, different platform. We're doing exactly the same thing, we just have a different platform. And the platform now is designed to actually help give back and make it a win-win scenario, which in my book, that's what I really want. I don't know about everybody else out there, but mine was always designed, I want everybody to win. Because when everybody's winning, what does that change? Changes the culture, changes the dynamic, changes the energy, changes the people around you. Everybody's happier. I say one thing about when they go to Hawaii. Everybody's always in a good mood. One, if you live there, it's kind of like, but all the tourists, they're on freaking vacation. So they're always happy.
Hang loose.
It's good. Everybody's typically in a really good mood in Hawaii. It's weird, you really think about that. It's a great energy, and a lot of times people don't understand that. They call it the aloha spirit. It's weird, but when you get caught up in it, it changes the way you think. This is the same way. Never in a sense of history of real estate have we had an opportunity where everybody truly comes together and wants to help everybody succeed and grow and develop and build and have something together culturally that never existed. That's crazy, but it's real and it's happening every day. So, any questions on this stuff? Yes.
I missed the 5th step. I have closed transactions, partners, cap, buy stock.
Yes.
I missed the 5th one. There was only 4. You said 5 ways to acquire stock.
When you become an icon. So, when you cap at the $16,000 mark, when you cap at the $16,000 mark and you do 20 more transactions beyond that cap, you are considered an icon. And then you're awarded your stock, the cap back actually in stock.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob. I forgot about that. Yeah, thank you. So yeah. So the 5 ways to acquire stock here. And again, I personally didn't come here for the stock. I didn't. But last year, I think I've totaled 3. This is my 3rd year anniversary here. January is my 3rd year month right now. And I've acquired like 8,200 shares of stock. I didn't I just did my job. I did this. I did that, and when I was buying it though, it was at $2.20. And now it's what, 12?
Is it 12?
12? 13? 10? I don't know, it's in that range from 10 to 13. It goes,
10 something, yeah. Good. Went up.
11.32.
it's still
Oh, well.
better than 2.25,
Yeah, a lot better.
you know?
$90,000.
Thank you. I'm not mad at that. Anybody that came knocking, hey Chris, here's $90,000. Oh, it's not for me,
No,
sorry.
no.
I don't want that. No, that's not my thing. It's not for me. It's not for me. It might be for Stem and that, but it's not for me. It's always been about the money. It is. So, again, option 1, go and sell your heart out. Option 2, sell your heart out, own a disruptive technology, acquire stocks by doing your job, and actually have conversations with other people and encourage them about how this amazing is and change your life, and start to create some passive residual income for rainy days. There's nothing wrong with free money.
Rainy and sunny.
Rainy and sunny, stormy, snowy, doesn't matter.
All weather.
So I'll go down some of the specifics on this. There is a one-time fee of $149. There is a monthly 50 plus a 35, which gives you $85 monthly. The 50 covers KV Core, which for those who are familiar, KV Core was bought out by Conversion. It actually was Conversion. I used Conversion before I came to EXP, and it was amazing. I still love it. But at that time, I was paying $3,200 a month for it. It wasn't cheap. It's like the Ferrari of websites. It has everything. IDX, pay-per-click, CRMs, the whole front and back end office. It's ridiculous. And we get it part of our $3 membership. Regis Business Corporate Suites, for those who want the best of both worlds. We do have traditional brick and mortar spots for you. And they're all over the country. There's 8 of them alone right here in this whole Sacramento, Roseville vicinity area, between here, Elk Grove, Folsom, 8 of them, downtown Sacramento. And I've used almost every one of them. I've been in the Bay Area. If I went in the Bay Area, I popped in one in the Bay Area. I've used one in Oakland, I've used one in San Francisco. I've been down in Orange County, I've used one in Orange County. They got them in Hawaii, downtown Honolulu. I've used that one. If you need to utilize a traditional office, if you're still doing business like that, that's just okay. If you still are, great. We have them for you. We have all of that for you. Got it covered. Part of your $50 a month membership again, which is pretty amazing. You have access to the full place. You also get breakthrough broker is utilized for you as well. So all that comes part of your $50 a month membership. The 35 covers the world, the university, all the coaching, training, all the stuff there. We have 500 full-time employees on that office environment in the cloud that help you in any nature of your business, from IT to transactions to accounting to all of it. It's a lot of people to help support you. There is a per transaction of $40, and that's your E&O insurance, which caps out at $500, and that's per transaction, and a $25 broker review fee, which gives you $65 per transaction. Okay.
Is that the same for commercial realtors or?
I believe it has a thing for the commercial part. Because I know we do both. We do commercial and residential, and I'm sure a lot of it rolls over into cover the commercial side of it. I don't know the full extent of the commercial piece of it, but I do know it's going to have the errors and emissions on both sides.
I believe the same cap.
Same cap?
Yeah.
Same cap, yeah, it does. And even your cap, even this cap right here, applies to both sides. You can close a $20 million commercial deal, cap, and then all your residential stuff, everything's 100%. So it rolls over in continuation. So that's pretty much it on the fees. It's pretty black and white, which I also love. It's simple. It's never like a cell phone bill. Every month it's different. That drives me bananas. Every time I look at my cell phone, it's different. I don't know why. If I call in and talk to somebody, they charge me for that. It's crazy. So this is your breakdown: $85 a month, one time $149, and $65 per transaction. Okay. Any questions?